Welcome back to Chasing Walleye. In this episode, we're going to take a look at the expenses that are involved in registering, participating, and being part of a walleye tournament. First, we're going to take a look at the entry fees that were paid to participate in these different tournaments across Western Canada. The Southern Alberta Walleye Trail Association has a base tournament fee of $350 for the 40 Mile Coulee and the Travers Reservoir tournaments. The 4 other tournaments that we participated in are on the Saskatchewan Walleye Trail, and they're kind of a mixed bag with different prices depending on the location and the organizations running those tournaments. These entry fees are just the base cost to enter the tournament. There are optional add-on fees that you can pay depending on the organization and what kind of tournament they want to run. An example of some of these add-ons is a big fish payout, where your team is now entered into either a daily or a tournament payout for the biggest fish caught. At the rules meeting the night before the tournament, there's sometimes a dinner, and there could be an additional fee with that dinner. Also, there could be an annual trail membership fee for whatever trail you're fishing on. And finally, there could be an optional tournament within a tournament, or sometimes called side pot or bonus pool, where your team can participate in an additional payout generally given to the top 10 finishers. Our next major expense for participating in a walleye tournament is accommodations. Being rookies on the walleye trail, we tried a few different options. Our first one being a hotel located about 45 minutes from the lake. At the next tournament, we also chose a hotel, however this was located in the large city of Regina, about 30 minutes away from the tournament lake. For the Elbow tournament on Lake Diefenbaker, we decided to upgrade our stay to the Dakota Dunes Resort. It was an absolutely beautiful facility and only an hour from the tournament location. Going back to Alberta for our 4th tournament, it was close to home, so we were able to stay at home and take an hour and a half drive to the tournament location every day. The 5th tournament at Sask Landing we participated in last year, so we had a good idea where we wanted to stay, in a hotel located 30 minutes south in the town of Swift Current. And finally, our last tournament on Last Mountain Lake, we found a house that was for rent right on the lake, so we were able to minimize our travel time with the trailer and just put the boat in at the house and drive it to the tournament start at the beginning of the day. Where are we going, Mike?
I don't know. Which way south?
That way. Somewhere. We only had the one day where we couldn't find the marina in the fog, but we made it there. So with all of these tournaments, we do have to get there, so that brings up the travel expense. There's my window, man. When considering travel expenses, I looked at the total distance traveled to the tournament location, the daily travel to the lake, and the extra cost of boat fuel for the tournaments. During this season, there was a huge difference in fuel costs between Alberta and in the province of Saskatchewan. Even though that we traveled farther to get to the tournaments in Saskatchewan, the fuel costs also cost us extra, as it was 10 to 20 cents more per liter. When keeping track of these numbers, I only considered the fuel costs. I did not consider any of the maintenance or other expenses related to the vehicle or trailer. We considered all of these expenses as a team expense as we traveled together to every tournament, but in some cases, it could be an individual expense depending on how you and your partner get to a tournament. What you eat on these trips is always interesting for every angler. What you need to snack on the boat, what needs to keep you going for 12 to 14 hours of fishing every day, is going to be up to you. On this trip, I spent about $200 to $300 per tournament, and Mike did about the same. Is your drag set too loose?
No, no, it is not.
Yeah, that's another big pike. And finally, our last big expense for these trips is bait. You can go through pounds and pounds of bait in a single tournament. We use both live leeches, live worms, and frozen minnows based upon the regulations in our area. This generally costs us about $120 per tournament.
Hey.
How many leeches did you just buy?
We bought 20 times 12 is what? A few. And then we bought another 8 packs of worms, so I think we'll be okay for a few days, right?
Right, so 3-6. I hope that was a good overview to give you an example of the expenses involved in a season of 6 tournaments while you're chasing walleye.
Got a bit of time to kill here, so we're gonna check out the facility. As you can see, this fog's delaying everything.